Last year, the Northern Michigan University Wildcats lost a 5-game heartbreaker in the national championship match at Portland State. Tonight, the big dance comes to the Hedgcock Fieldhouse as the #1 rated Wildcats face off against the Roadrunners of Cal State-Bakersfield, rated #2. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the CB Hedgcock Fieldhouse on the campus of Northern Michigan University. My name is Dave Danis for Bresnan Communications, and joining me, former Wildcat volleyball assistant, now the head coach of the Rice Owls, Henry Chin. And Henry, we've got a great matchup between two teams that in many ways are very different, and in some others very similar.
Absolutely. This is a team of contrasting style. Bakersfield is a team of conventional attack, great defense. They're going to be getting a lot of balls up, a lot of attack on the ball on transition. That's what we have to watch. Northern Michigan, a progressive, very aggressive team. They're going to take a lot of high-risk attacks. So it's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a dandy here.
Let's take a look at some of the key players for the Roadrunners of Cal State-Bakersfield. Yesterday, Jennifer Streltsov had 74 assists, and the bulk of those will go to players like Brandy Charles, Brandy Babcock, and Christy Winnicky.
Yes, as I said, their defense is a big part of their game. They're going to take a lot of balls, they're going to a lot of attempts. But the key here is that their attempts are not real equal. They go to the ball a lot to Christy and Felicia. So the key for Northern is really keyed on them and make sure they can stop them.
The other big one for Bakersfield, their middle blocker, Felicia Crisp, #14, a definite force to be reckoned with on that front row.
Yes, I think the matchup today is going to be very interesting. Player to watch is definitely Felicia and Christy Winnicky. And I also think the other outside hitter, Brandy, is going to be the one to watch, because when things get crazy in transition, they're going to have to throw the ball to the left side. And those people are going to have to keep the ball in play.
Northern Michigan, meanwhile, spreads the attack around a little more. 7 different players have led the Wildcats in kills this season, and a lot of those kills come off the sets of Stacy Metro, who had 49 assists in a 3-game sweep last night.
Yes, Northern is an extremely balanced team. They have 5 hitters all getting equal amount of attempt numbers per game, and that's a real good sign of a great offensive team. I think the player to watch today would be Stacy Metro, because the head coach Jim Moore admittedly is saying that Stacy didn't have a good match against Bakersfield last time. I think this is a big match for her. She's going to challenge a lot of her teammate and other opponents.
Northern Michigan yesterday a 15-12, 3-10 winner over Northern Colorado. Meanwhile, Bakersfield had a good match against Portland State, winning at 15-11, 15-10, 11-15, and 15-13. Mark Rosen, the head coach of the Roadrunners, 57-11 career record at CSU-B in his second year. You take a look at some of the crowd, and Henry, we've got just a packed house here at Hedgcock.
This is tremendous. This is just impressive to see the whole house packed and the enthusiasm that's filling this gym. I'll tell you one thing about Mark and Jim. They're the 2 best coaches right now in this tournament. I think it's exciting to watch them play against each other.
Jim Moore, the Northern Michigan Wildcat coach, has taken a team and built it from the ground up, not even winning 10 matches the first year. Now they're in their 2nd consecutive national championship match.
Jim is definitely a very smart strategist. He's the only few coaches in the country that commits to swing offense. This is not a safe offense, very high risk, but the payoff is they can go big time and beat good teams.
Northern Michigan comes into the match with a record of 37-1. Bakersfield is 32-2. Northern Michigan's only loss of the season came to Cal State-Bakersfield at the TCI Showcase up in Portland, and that was a 5-gamer following a Wildcat win a few weeks earlier down in Bakersfield.
These teams are going to be a great matchup because you got a great defensive team on Bakersfield, and you got Northern that with tremendous amount of offensive potential and very, very strong ball control skills.
These are 2 teams, though, having met a couple of times already this year, and having the miles and miles of videotape available to them. There's no secrets between Jim Moore and Mark Rosen. They know what each team is going to do.
That's right. As far as for Bakersfield, they're very much around a very predictable offense, but they're very precise with their offense. The hitters are very good in using the hands, tooling out the blocks, using the seam, tipping, off speed. And on the other hand, Northern is a team that, it's very hard to track. Their hitters go everywhere on the court. That's a sign of a swing offense. So that's going to put their defense to a test.
Henry, I tell you, in my years at Northern Michigan, I have rarely, if ever, seen the Hedgcock Fieldhouse this full. What kind of effect can a crowd this size have on the game?
This is a big, big factor. I wrote down before the match what are the factors for each team. I think in terms of favoring Northern. The home crowd is definitely a big, huge factor.
There you see Jim Moore, the Wildcat coach, on the screen. He's assisted by Lynn Thies and Kevin Hitt, who so ably provided the color commentary for all but Northern's matches this weekend. Yeah. Also, thanks going out to Lisa Rosen and now Henry Chin. I've just been blessed with great,
this is great. You know,
intuition.
We got the Division II National Championship. We're going to do it with style.
All righty, and we are just about set to get underway. The first ever contest of any kind for a national championship to be played here on the campus of Northern Michigan University, and the Wildcats have earned it.
This is a very exciting matchup. If you want to see exciting volleyball, this is it. This is the #1 team against #2 team in the country. This is the best. I think the key thing to watch before the match is that how loose Northern will come out. In the huddle right now, they seem to be laughing and joking a little bit. I think that's a real good thing for them because they seem to be a little tight. They got to come out real loose.
Well, I noticed in the consolation game between Northern Colorado and Portland State, very loose. I didn't see any other teams that loose all weekend than those two. And they decided, let's just come out, play volleyball, and have some fun.
Yes, I think that's a factor, that's a plus for Bakersfield. They have a very young team. They got only one senior on that team. Everybody's coming back. Their best players are sophomore and juniors. They're going to come out with an attitude, nothing to lose. And Mark is a pretty loose and laid-back coach. I think that's a favor for them. So.
Northern Michigan will start out with Rachel Dyrick, Jenny Long, along with #2, Stacy Metro, the Player of the Year in Division II, Andrea Gomez and Heather Koenig up along the front line, and Tricia Tuller, #7, the senior from West Allis, Wisconsin. Meanwhile, for Bakersfield up front, it will be Tori Sumner, #13, along with #7, Brandy Charles, Erica Goldbrinson, 15, along with Jennifer Strutzoff, the setter, wearing #12. #6 is Christy Winicky, the big hitter, and Brandy Babcock wears #11. The Wildcats will serve first. It will be Rachel Dyrick for Northern Michigan. Rachel comes to Northern from Linwood, Illinois. She's a sophomore, and I tell you that her parents probably had the shortest drive of anybody to get here to see a game.
That's right. I have heard so many people drive a long way to get out here, and you know, this is going to be that's a nice hit there on the outside. It's a very good side-out play by them.
Strutzoff gets the set for Christy Weinecke. Give Jennifer the assist, Christy the kill. And the ball goes for the first time to Cal State-Bakersfield. Weinecke will serve. Jenny Long will play it out of the back row. The set will come for Heather Koenig, and Heather crushed it, but right into the block of Brandy Babcock.
You know, Dave, that's the fact you talk about scouting. They know that Heather's a big play player for them, and they camped on her with 2 blockers, and she had nothing to hit but against the hands.
The first point of the match goes to Bakersfield. The set for Andrea Gomez, and it's back to Northern Michigan.
The key today, as I said, is going to be Stacy Metro's setting. If she's out, she's going to go to the middle a lot. The quick tempo play is going to be very effective for Northern Michigan.
Jim Moore's talk on Stacy Metro is she has the ability to find the player that's hot on the team and go to her.
That's right. She's very perceptive as a setter. You know, she doesn't get that Player of the Year for nothing. She's a very perceptive setter. She sees a lot of things going on. Nice serve. Nice serve by Bakersfield.
Service ace for Tori Sumner following the Northern service error. The Wildcats had 13 service errors in their first match of the weekend, only 2 yesterday, but I think some of the jitters might show up, and we'll see a few more of those early than you normally would.
That's right. That's right. You know, this is a big game for these girls. They're 4 of them are seniors, and they've been working very hard, you know, since December last year. There's a lot of, they got a little bit of pressure on them. I think it's good to get some air now and just go for it.
3-0 Bakersfield. Gomez off the block of Felicia Crisp. And Henry, you know, your team has got to be incredibly pumped up for this game.
Yes.
You've got the big crowd. How do you kind of, you might want to stem that flow of adrenaline a little bit. How do you go about doing that?
The best thing to do is just tell them that it's the process. You know, just relax a little bit. Heather Long is just doing that. She saw the block out there. She said, hey, I'm not going to hit it into her hands. I'm going to use it and just snip it. Obviously, there's a call on the play. There was an under call by the umpire. It's a tough break. That was a very nice play by Jennifer.
The fans not agreeing. Tori Sumner will serve it with Bakersfield up 5-0. And Andrea Gomez goes for the kill, and she will not get it. Tori Sumner digs it out the back row.
That's a nice defensive play there by the right back player. Very nice play.
Jenny Long gets it off the block of Brandy Charles for the side out Northern, and they needed that.
Very scrappy play right now on defense by Bakersfield. We know that's going to happen. I think their big weakness right now is I think they got to go after their middle back players. Their wings are playing very well right now.
Brandy Babcock will keep it alive.
This should be an easy play for us. Very good.
And the hit goes long for Bakersfield, so the Wildcats get their first point of the game. And sometimes getting that first one under your belt changes everything.
Just relax a little bit, take a deep breath in this play.
Jenny Long's serve will be played by Winicky on the back row. The setup comes to Babcock, and she smacks it into the net. And she had an imposing block up there with Stacy Metro and Andrea Gomez.
That whole play day was set up by the back pass. I think Bakersfield, well, their weakness will be their passing. We'll have to really explore their passing. Right now, they keep serving, and that's a good pass now by Brandy.
The back set goes to Felicia Crisp, and she gets the side out.
Felicia runs a very precise route for that. She takes a front 8 quick, then goes to the backslide. That's a very effective play for her. She's a good athlete. She usually gets isolation on her hip.
That's something we saw a lot for Felicia yesterday. They don't set the ball very high to her. It's a very quick set and a quick smash.
That's right. She's such a quick athlete, they want to set a high-speed ball so she can beat the blocks. So if they want to make sure that is a fast setter, she gets isolated.
Side-out Wildcats. Andrea Gomez, the middle blocker from Hanningen in the Netherlands, will do the serving. The Wildcats trail it 2-5.
This is the matchup here right now. This is the matchup that Pauline is going against Felicia in terms of a defensive side.
Pauline Schutte, the 6'2 sophomore from Manitowoc, Wisconsin, in the front row for Northern. Trisha Tuller tried to smash and runs into the block.
Yes, I don't think she had a really good look at the block, and she just decided to go course court and hit the ball low.
Trisha likes the cross-court shot. She had a great game yesterday for Northern Michigan. Babcock serve played by Jenny Long. Metro to Pauline Schutte, and there's that matchup you talked about.
We need that. Northern Michigan would need that happen more often. Stacy's a great setter in transition, and she needs to go to the middle as much as she can because defensive-wise, Bakersfield is shutting them down with outside attack.
That pass was into the net. Trisha Tuller on the tip, and the Wildcats have cut the Bakersfield lead to 2.
That's the factor, Dave, is how in Bakersfield's game is they got to pass well against Northern. Right now, Northern is exploring their passing game. Stacy probably got one of the best serves on the team.
Christy Weinecke hits it into the block, saves it. Felicia Crisp gets it tapped by Metro. Heather Koenig keeps it up. Trisha Tuller hits it long.
Trisha seems to be a little nervous there. I think she'll be fine. She's not really going there and hammering the ball. She's a little tentative. I think she'll settle down.
Well, you know, we talked a little bit earlier, Jennifer Stutzap, we talked about that passing by Bakersfield. Jennifer stands 5'7". Meanwhile, for Northern Michigan, Stacy Metro is a 6'1", and she can dig those bad passes out.
Yeah. Well, actually, the big advantage for Stacy's obviously her blocking, but her height helps her setting. In terms, she's a lot closer to the middle blockers, which is usually about 6 foot, and she's 6'1" herself, so make those connections a lot easier.
The big boomer gets the ball back for the Wildcats. Trisha Tuller will serve it up. The set and set attack. Great play by Pauline.
She was coming through. She's making some nice plays on defense. Had that big hit earlier. She's really coming through here. Nice job.
Jennifer Streltzoff went for the set attack, and Schutte was there to rebuff it. It'll be Streltzoff on the set again. Weinecke slams it down.
Right now, Bakersfield is very effective attacking the backside. Right now, Northern's left side blockers need to do a better job fronting those hitters. They're getting beat inside on the course court.
Bakersfield has a 5-4 lead. The pass by Gomez was over the net, and the point will go to the Bakersfield Roadrunners.
Very nice serve. They're right now going to Trisha Tuller, and she's still a little tired. They're going to explore her.
6'4", CSU. Jenny Long the bump. Stacy goes for Andrea, and Andrea has it dug out by Streltzoff. And that one, Christy Weinecke, and she'll get the call, 7-4 CSU.
Andrea made a very nice attempt on the back row. There was a lot of traffic there, but she pulled it off and got a nice attack out to the back row. Right now, seems a little bit flustered with the calls, but I think we're all going to even out.
Here it goes, the push by Gomez finds it. Nice play to cross him up.
Andrea's got that look, you know, the jump back and middle linebacker, possessed look. She's got very focused. Her eyes just looked at him and said, I'm on this.
I tell you, they said, some of the players said, you don't want to see Andrea when she gets mad. You don't want to make her mad.
She is very focused right now.
Christy Weinecke. And will Tuller save it? No, she goes crashing into the bench.
That's one of the trademarks of this Bakersfield team, Dave, is they know how to use the block. They're not going to make any foolish attempts. They will use the block to their fullest advantage.
Weinecke will serve it up for the runners. Jenny Long gets the bump on it. Stacy Metro tries to set it up for Jenny Long. Nice. Jenny Long coming around the left side.
that classic swing approach, coming outside in, very hard for the blockers to front her. She's a very disciplined player, and she really makes the swing offense work to her advantage.
4-7, Wildcats trail. It's Brandy Charles on the tip. And if there's a little weak position in the Northern offense, if you can get that tip over the block, tipping teams do give Northern some trouble.
Yeah, both teams are a perimeter defensive team. Perimeter defense basically give the athletes a lot of accountability for what they do. They got to go for the ball. They got to be aggressive. And that plate there, they tip perfect placement.
And Andrea, with the Thunder, gets the shot out for Northern Michigan.
The key right now is for Northern to get good enough passes to Stacy, good enough transition balls for the middle hitters to retract up the court and be able to attack it.
I tell you, this game going at an incredible pace, 11 points in 11 minutes so far. We'll see if we still got something nice come down the end.
That's a great dig by Jennifer. Let's see if we can convert on that.
And for the Bakersfield Roadrunners, that was Brandy Charles with the slam.
Bakersfield is definitely a hot team right now. They're definitely on the road, emotionally very high, and they're the underdog, and they're really pushing Northern Michigan right now.
Both these teams run very quick offenses. There's Gomans, didn't quite get the line, and Bakersfield gets the point to go up 8-4.
Right now, Northern's a little tight. They're trying a little too much. They got to relax a little bit and just let the process take over. They just need to execute and play it aggressively.
Stacy the set for Tricia Tuller, fights off the block. Felicia Crispin struts off, didn't get over the net on that one.
Tricia is utilizing her jumper height. She definitely got high on that and beat their block. She got on top of the block, and when it could not penetrate, she got it on the other side of the court.
Gomans will serve it up for the Wildcats, down 4-8. This comes way deep, and Weineke wisely let it go.
Northern's a little tight right now. I think they just need to settle down a little bit, just settle into the game.
This might almost be getting to the point where Jim Moore's ready to call a timeout. We'll see how it goes. Tuller the bump out of the back row. Stacy sets it for Tricia off the block. Bakersfield will play it. This one will come to Christy Weineke and blocked in front. Stacy Metro.
By Stacy Metro. That's a real statement there for the outside hitters. And Northern Michigan need blocks like that to contain their hitters.
Give the assist to number 9, Emily Carrick, the 1 UP product from Brimley on the Wildcat roster.
Nice dig there by Stacy.
Heather goes to Andrea Gomans. The set this time, Felicia Crisp with a little tap over Carrick. Side out Bakersfield.
Bakersfield definitely, like you said, they had Northern scouted very well. They kind of like figured out Andrea's tendencies when she attacked in the back row. They have 2 diggers, they're waiting for her. And right now they're also asserting a lot to Tricia Tuller. I think that just, they're going to explore every possibility out there to score points.
Erica Goldbrinson checks in with the jump serve. Emily Carrick missed the hit. 9-4 CSU. And this will be the time where Jim Moore calls a timeout. Henry, what's Jim going through with his team right now?
Jim is probably telling me right now is you guys are trying too hard. Just relax, play your game. Right now, the most important thing in terms of skill-wise is that, number 1, Northern's got to pass the ball. They're getting picked down. They're letting them score 1 or 2 points each time they serve, and they're playing catch-up. Number 2, on defense, they need to play with a little bit more relentlessness. They got to go out there and slam their body just to make a statement to get to the ball. Because right now, Northern's not scoring points off transition too often. They're scoring on blocking, they're scoring on serving. So right now, the key thing is Northern needs to just relax and they need to just play the game. Not worry about this, just a 1 game.
Meanwhile, Mark Rosen quickly out of the huddle on the Bakersfield side of things. Basically, it's keep doing what you're doing.
He's probably telling them that scouting report work, keep doing it.
Goldbrinson will serve it up for Bakersfield with a 5-point lead, 9-4 here in game 1.
I think, if we don't side out here, there may be a possibility of getting a substitute in. And Merry Christmas. It was a good time out by Coach Jim. They got in there and a free side out.
Nice, the server got the error, and Tricia Tuller will get it for Northern Michigan.
This is a very important sequence of play for Tricia. She's being shaky up and down a little bit, in the back row especially. Front row, she has a nice play. She needs to really put in a very solid back row sequence right now in this next 3 rotations.
That will be Tori Sumner with the hit, and the Wildcats can't control it, so Bakersfield gets the side out quickly.
See, that's the kind of plays I think would be great for Trish. Just go for her and put her hand up and release some effort. I think Northern needs a little bit extra push. Somebody slide into the bench, into the bleachers, save the ball.
Gomans with the dig out. Stacy will pop it up for Tuller. Tricia sends it over the net. Stretzov will set it for Brandy Charles.
That's a great play. That's a play coming off Northern's playbook. The right side player coming in the middle, hitting an X. That was a great execution.
Bakersfield executing a very high-tempoed offense. Stacy Metro to set. Emily Carrick dig by Stretzop. Heather had it dug out by Goldrinson. Here comes Weineke. She goes with the tap, and it gets the Cats.
Defensively right now, Northern is tentative. They're a little hesitant about going after the balls. They need to just go for it, go after the ball. This, again, is a very scrappy Bakersfield team. As we talked about before the match started, they will scrap and scrape for everything, and when the board is up, they make little plays that it's going to work for them. They're not going to bang the ball hard, but they're going to tip, they're going to roll shot, they're going to find an open spot on the court.
Bakersfield leads at 11-4 here in game number 1. Streltsov with the serve.
This should be a good line in terms of lineup match because right now they have Felicia out of the game. She's resting, and here's the sub that coming in here.
Well, Felicia Quick, the big middle blocker, doesn't play a lot of back row for Bakersfield. That's Goldrinson's job.
It's key for Northern to really stretch this game out because you want to force to have Felicia in there. The tip's working very well right now against Northern. They're going to have to make some adjustments from the wings to pick up those tips, or they just got a double scores to go for.
6 straight points for the Roadrunners have them with a 7-point lead. Wildcats haven't been able to do much with their side outs. Nice save by Andrea.
It's a very nice save by her. Very athletic play off.
Brandy Babcock.
Nice play by Stacy. That's the way they need to pick up those tips.
Jenny Long fights off the block, bumps it up. Stacy Metro sets it for Heather Koenig. Long.
Heather's a little over-anxious right now. She's real tight to the net, and she should do something. Play the little ball, tip it, roll it. Instead, she take a big bang at it, which is okay. But right now, in this juncture, she needs to be aggressive, be a smarter player.
Andrea Gomez gets it back to Northern Michigan with the slam. Third kill for Andrea here in game 1.
Quick attack is working very well for Northern. The question is, can they get enough of that?
The pass into the net, and that was Tori Sumner.
I think right now the Northern coach is a little frustrated right now with the call, the ball control calls right now. It's a judgment call, and right now referees find it very loose. They just need to play that. They just need to go on and take advantage of it.
So Tanya Rush will serve it for the Roadrunners. Stacy Metro to set up for Jenny Long, and Jenny into the block of Felicia Chris.
That ball comes straight back to her. Great block. And outstanding block by Bakersfield.
Rush's serve will come deep for Tueller. Stacy Metro the setup. Andrea the little tap. The power player, but she's got a touch.
Andrea is working really well right now. She is the player that's been putting the ball down consistently. I think in terms of strategy-wise, you know, Northern needs to keep Andrea as much as possible in the front row. I would anticipate that they're going to start the next game with Andrea in the front row.
Andrea had it blocked. That was Brandy Charles. And so Bakersfield gets the side out, up by 9.
Because right now Northern is getting a little distracted right now with the call by the referee. They just need to settle down and play their game.
Charles serves it up for Bakersfield. That pass over the net. Nice diving save by Weineke. It comes to Babcock, and she had it blocked out of bounds.
Very nice play. That's the trademark of Bakersfield hitters. They will see the block, and they will chew off the block.
So we go to game point, 14-4 in the first for Bakersfield. Wildcats need it here. Stacy Metro, the set attack. Nice job, Stacy. Now fake to Andrea. And that's almost the no-looker. She was looking right at Andrea Gomez and knocked it over the net.
That's like the suicide squeeze I needed to get around on that. That was just to keep Northern alive in this game.
Northern trails by 10. Gomez the serve. Deep for Weineke. The setup will come to Babcock. Brandy has it blocked. Dug out by Charles. The setup again for Brandy. Gets through the block, and it's side out Bakersfield again. Game point.
Bakersfield is doing the little things well right now. They're covering well. They're playing great defense. And the outside hitters, very predictable. All they do is get the ball up and bang up the blocks.
And it will be Babcock with the serve. The setup, and Stacy tried to go at it. And that one is hit long and out. Game number 1 goes to Bakersfield. 15-4.
Well, this is definitely a wake-up call for Northern. Bakersfield playing incredible defense right now in game 1. Northern Michigan the middle hitters are doing a very good job. Pauline and Andrea have been unstoppable in terms of their attack. The part lies with the outside hitters. Both basically right now, they need to settle down and start to keep the ball in play. They got to think about not terminating, but just keep the ball in play. And we got a great opportunity right now for the outside hitters. And eventually, the offense is going to balance out.
All righty, we'll take a quick timeout. Thank you, Henry, and come back with game number 2. Wildcats down 0-1. NCAA Division II Championships on President Communications.
Casual dining at its best. It's the only place to eat. J.J. Shamrock, 113 South Front Street, downtown Marquette.
Somewhere other than the night.
Would you like to have the newest and greatest music ever recorded right in the palm of your hand? Everything from great rock titles like Welcome to the Jungle to the classical music you love. Now DMX brings you jazz, oldies, blues, country, great urban music like Boys to Men, rock classics like the Beatles, and much more. Welcome to the future. Inside, DMX has digitally programmed music from tens of thousands of CDs to play through your home stereo on 30 incredible channels. So now, whatever music you love, all you need is this and this. Want your DMX? It's easy. Just call your local cable company.
Tuller in the back. Now they move Heather back just a little bit. Meanwhile, Bakersfield will go with Erica Goldbrinson at the serve. The Brandys, Charles, and Babcock in the middle, and up front, Tori Sumner along with Jennifer Streltzoff and Christy Weineke.
Northern needs to have a very, very consistent passing game in game 2. Their passing, the first game was inconsistent. And it's great to start off with a missed serve by them. That's a very aggressive play on Bakersfield part. That's why I think Mark's a great coach. They come out and go for the throw, go for a jump serve.
That was Goldbrinson's second service error of the match. Jenny Long serves it for Northern. Andrea met at the net by Streltzoff. Tricia Tuller sets it for Stacy, and Stacy gets it off the hands of Brandy Babcock.
Nice play. I think Northern is playing. They got a little more in terms of evenness and the way they play. They're not getting really excited right now. They just want to touch the play.
And there's another break as Babcock wasn't sure whether to handle it or let it go, and she got the hands on it and she tried to pull them away.
I don't know what Jim said to these girls, but they basically come out and play to the best of their athletic ability. They're not as tight as they were looking in the first game. Very nice defensive play, and that should be a kill. Very nice play. Jennifer Long started off with a nice dig. Nice dig out of the outside attack, which is their bread and butter play for Bakersfield.
Well, the Wildcats certainly needed a few points to get their confidence, and with a little help from Bakersfield, they've taken a 3-0 lead.
Jennifer Long is doing a very nice job in terms of putting the ball in play on their side. Okay? That's a young team on Bakersfield's side. The adrenaline probably is running out a little bit right now after the first game. The buzz is running away, and now reality sets in.
The set goes for Weineke, and Christie gets the touch side out Bakersfield.
That so far, Dave, had been the most effective offensive play they had, most consistent. So far, every backslide they run have been terminated, and that's one play that Northern needs to stop.
This setup will come to Tricia Tuller. Tricia has it blocked. Jenny Long saves it, and Tuller sends it back over. The setup by Streltzoff, and a missed shot by Brandy Charles. Just set maybe a little behind it.
Northern's got to smell the blood right now. Bakersfield is leaving the opening. They're coming out. They're not real focused. They start making some silly mistakes, which they did not make at all in game 1.
Well, so far we've seen a mirror image of game 1, or a reversal here in game 2. This setup will go for Charles. Brandy sends it down. Jenny Long, what a save. Can Andrea get there? And that's quite.
Dave, that's the play Northern needs. Somebody goes to the bench and spark up not only the team, but the crowd. They need to go out there and go for it. Draw some blood and get excited.
Weineke will serve it up for the runners. Tuller with the bump. Jenny Long, and from the back row, Heather Koenig. This one will get set up for Brandy Babcock. A little over the net, and Stacy Metro there on the bad pass to take advantage.
That's why Stacy is Player of the Year. She's got that height and she's got that coolness. You see overpass, you see the opening, and puts her where the money is.
And it will be Stacy to serve. Henry, how often do you see the person who comes up with the big play gets the service? Wildcats up 4-0. There's the block. Over the net. Tricia bumps it up. Stacy will set it for Tuller. Trish, the little tap. This one will now come to Brandy Charles, looking for Babcock, and she sets it down in front of Andrea Gomez.
Trish right now gets to get her game back because right now she's getting a little bit far in between transitions. The reason she didn't get a good swing at that ball is she only got out to about 5-foot line. She needs to get back deep so she can take a good swing at the ball. She needs to put her game together.
Nice pass, nice save by Andrea, but out of bounds.
I think Jim is probably right now start thinking about what they need to do to provide some spark. They were really going hot in the beginning. They need to do something right now to side out against Bakersfield.
Stacy Metro, the set for Koenig. Heather runs into the block. Jenny Long bumps it up in the net. Tipped by Schutte, and we'll get a net violation or a lift call, rather, against Bakersfield.
Well, Northern is pretty much unhappy with the call. That's the first call they got on ball control. Both referees are pretty loose and letting the girl play the ball, letting the girls play.
Felicia has it blocked. Nice shooting.
That's a great block. Great match up there. Pauline's got great extension. Hands well over the net.
The 6'1" Felicia Crisp against the 6'2" Pauline Schutte, and so far it's 2-0 Pauline on that matchup. There's the tap, but Stacy's there. Heather will set it up for Jenny Long, and Jenny fights off the block and gets it for Northern Michigan, 6-1.
You can see Northern is settling down. Pauline made a great play there. Bakersfield ran a back fake with Felicia on the backside. Pauline went with it, and then when she said the set went outside, she made it up with her athletic ability and forced the hit pretty much to be a contained attack.
I tell you, the roar that went up from the crowd during that timeout, this has just got to be some experience for these players to be in a gym like this.
You know, this is it's a tremendous crowd, and you know, I can only compare this match to a couple of years ago when Northern's the final against Boston University. We were down by 3, and we came back. Right now, with the way the first game went, we'll win the Big Poland. Right now, we're making a big, strong push. And this is going to be a very good match with the way both these teams can turn around like that.
Boy, I tell you, some impressive volleyball on both sides, and right now it's the Wildcats that are playing it, up 6-1 after falling 4-15 in game number 1.
Now, this is a very, again, crucial sequence for Tricia. She's got a very good deep floated serve. She needs to put in a very strong sequence in defense and in back row play.
Now that was Brandy Charles on the set from Streltsov.
That's a very aggressive play by them. They probably scouted it when Andrea's in the left bag. They tipped the ball to the inside 10-foot line. That's going to need a very strong effort from her.
But the service aced by Charles following her tip gives the ball back to Northern Michigan. Liu Jun will check in on the back row for Pauline Schutte.
Pauline's doing a great job. She needs a little rest, come back and get fired up. Bakersfield right now is showing a little bit of an inexperience. This is the first time for them in the final match. Great dig by Stacy there. This nice swing.
Jenny Long with the swing, Bakersfield with the save, and Felicia Crisp will tap it over. Stacy Metro, the set for Andrea. Boom!
That's the play Stacy used to make. She's making those difficult digs into easy setting attempts. That's a great set by her, and also a great job for Andrea to make a connection on that attack.
Felicia Crisp hits it wide. 8-1 Wildcats.
Right now, Dave, that's the first time Bakersfield did not terminate on the backslide, and Northern needs to put a better block fronting Felicia in the backslide attempts.
The left-handed serve from Liu Jun, the freshman from Tianjin, China. Brandy Babcock fights off the block, saved by Stacy. Liu keeps it in, and Andrea sends it over. Big cheer. Felicia with the tip. Here comes Heather Koenig. Sets it for Jenny Long. She tries a tip of her own, and Andrea puts it away.
Great hustle, Dave. That's the type of play Northern needs to string together. Start off with the freshman back row specialist, get the ball off just like the bench, and then everybody else hustle and pursue.
Some volleyball excitement at its best. Division II Finals. Babcock is a big by Liu. Here comes Jenny Long into the net, and Andrea couldn't save it.
That play was really very well executed offensively, and Lee made a great play taking that ball because the hitter was isolated. Andrea was basically fake to the left side.
Service by Brandy Babcock for the Roadrunners. Stacy will set this one up for Jenny Long. A little cut shot, and it falls in off of Weineke.
It's an experienced play right now. Bakersfield seems to be a little bit inconsistent with their drive. They're not picking up the balls they were picking up in the first game.
Wildcats on a roll. Heather Koenig serve deep to Christy Weineke. This setup will come to Christy into the block, and it goes out of bounds, side out Bakersfield.
Yes, right now Northern outside hitters are not retracting deep enough. Those balls could be playable if Heather will get a little deeper and play that.
So it'll be Erica Goldbrinson with the jump serve. This one will be set up for Andrea Gomez. Little tip, but just wide. 9-2 CSU. And Stacy Metro sends it again just wide, and she doesn't get it, and that one will draw a hoop from the crowd.
Well, the key for Northern is they need to let the players go. Just play the next ball. Don't get caught up in what happened the play before.
Goldbrinson jump serve into the net. Third service error for Erica, and it gives it back to Northern Michigan and breaks the attempted momentum by Bakersfield after 2 points.
That's the double-edged sword for jump serve. If you don't make it, that's a major momentum deflator.
Jennifer will set it for Torrey. Heather Koenig tapped it up. This one will come to Stacy Metro, or Tula rather, and Trish with the kill. 10-3 Northern.
Trisha definitely made a great play there. Come up in net, open up, and made a very aggressive attempt.
Trisha's really settled down here midway through game number 2. Here's the set. Comes to Christy Weineke, blocked by Stacy Metro, and it'll go out of bounds, side out Bakersfield.
Yes, right now, Dave, the backslide attack from Bakersfield is really confusing the left side, the middle blocker on the northern side. And
that pass was long over the net and out of bounds, so the 4th point for Bakersfield, but Northern Michigan still leads by 6.
This is where they need to push, get a little more spark on everybody.
And there we go, Trisha Tuller, good dig. Streltsov will tap it over. Liu Jun, Stacy Metro, the set for Tuller, and Trish hits it into the net.
Trish really needs to settle down. She's pressing a little too much. She's thinking about only hitting the ball straight down hard. She needs to utilize the fact that they have 2 blockers. She can tip the ball. I'm really impressed with this freshman out there. She did a very nice job in the back row, really provided some spark, some great back row playing. She's very impressed by her.
Emily Carrick, the Brimley middle blocker, will check back in as June comes out following the service error by Jennifer Streltsov. Andrea's serve. Set up by Jennifer for Weineke. Andrea keeps it alive in the back. Stacy sets it up for Tuller. Trisha rifles it, dug by Babcock, and at the net, it's Emily Carrick, and the call will go against Bakersfield.
Very aggressive play. Very aggressive play. Right now, I really think all the players basically come back and answer the bell. I think just being a tough coach always asks for more. I think Trisha Tuller can step up another level in this game right now. That will be the spark that will be going to take Northern to winning game 2. She's the front row right now. She's left front. She have a lot of opportunities to terminate, and she needs to start right now.
It's 11-5 Northern Michigan University over Bakersfield in the second game. CSU leads at 1-0 in the match, but the Wildcats doing a good job coming back. They really settled down between games and have gotten their act together. Meanwhile, Bakersfield has had a couple of costly service errors.
And also Bakersfield started making some mistakes, which are very uncharacteristic for them, compared to what they did in game 1.
It'll be Andrea Gomez to serve. Her club up by 6 here in game 2. Carrick and Stacy Metro along with Tuller up front for Northern Michigan. Heather Koenig and Jenny Long in the middle. The setup will go. Sumner tried the tap, saved by Carrick. Nice job, Emily. Stacy Metro will send it back over. Bakersfield trying to work it to Tori Sumner, and Streltsov set it over her head between Sumner and Weineke, and the Wildcats are now within 3 points of game number 2.
Yes, this is the matchup in rotation that I think Jim probably really said this is it, because they have Felicia out of the game, and right now this is a great opportunity for Northern to put it together. That's a great dig by Andrea, but nice save out there on the Bakersfield end to keep the ball in play.
This one will be set up for Tricia Tuller, and she hits it into a block, but it goes out. 13-5 Wildcats.
Yes, Tricia still seems to be very tentative right now going to the ball. She's not accelerating well, and we need to have Trish to come out and have a real strong game.
Yeoman serves it up.
Nice
It's
serve.
a long one, and she got the line. Game point, Wildcats. That one just floated. It was kind of like a knuckleball, and it tumbled at the last second.
Andrea's got that look. She's got a I'm on the mission look.
You got the fastball pitcher with the effective knuckler, and that's a dangerous weapon
Right
for
now,
Northern.
a great opportunity for Northern to transition out this with a quick attack in the middle.
Stacy, Tricia,
Yes.
the outside. Nice save, Bakersfield. Did they call it in the net?
They just, the Northern was calling for a double hit.
Didn't get it. Saved by
They just
Streltsov.
need to come out and go to the middle.
And there's Emily Carrick for Northern Michigan. Again, the setup for Brandy Charles. Block. Goins to the dig, and Stacy with the set attack. Game 2. Northern Michigan, we're even at 1. We'll take timeout and come back with number 3. You're watching Division II Elite 8 Volleyball on Bresnan Communications.
Fortunately, many Americans have found a way to respond to HIV.
You got a friend that's got AIDS.
What? They're shooting us? You think that's the only way
They're
people get
educating
AIDS?
their employees,
The issue here is education. AIDS is growing fast.
their communities,
in small towns.
especially their friends and their families.
Last year I found out that I have HIV.
If we're going to prevent the spread of HIV, each and every one of us must do our part. Find out how you can help prevent HIV.
Rent a movie without ever leaving the house with the Bresnan Home Theater. Stop by our office and pick up an addressable converter box and begin enjoying Hollywood's latest releases today. Once you have the converter and movie guide, all you need to do is pick up the phone, call 228-2903 and ask for your selection. Your box will be activated and the charge will be added to your monthly cable bill. No tapes to return, no deadlines to beat, no late charges. Just Hollywood's best without ever leaving your home with Home Theater from Bresnan Communications.
Casual dining at its best. It's the only place to eat. J.J. Shamrock, 113 South Front Street, downtown Marquette.
15-4 for Bakersfield, 15-5 for Northern Michigan. We're even at 1 game. Dave Danis along with Henry Chin, Division II National Championship. Henry, just a reverse of the first game, and now a very, very crucial game number 3.
I think all Dave is going to be ball control, the passing, and the hustle on defense. In game 2, Northern passed flawlessly, and they have some impressive plays in the back row by the substitutes. They come in and did a very nice job in the back row.
Well, at not very many volleyball matches will you see the wave rolling around, but it's happening here at Hedgcock as Heather Koenig gets set to serve to begin game 3.
Well, I think Heather hesitated a little bit, think about whether she's going to do her jump serve, and she elected not to. I would have said go for it. Go for it. Set a statement, start up game 3.
Well, she said yesterday she didn't use it much yesterday, but she's saving it for today.
Okay.
Bakersfield starts with the side out, and Stacy, did they get it? Yes, they did. Stacy Metro.
Northern right now is cashing in on their physicalness at the net. They are a bigger team compared to Bakersfield, and they should dominate the net on any close calls in the net.
Gulbranson, the bump. Streltsov will set it for Babcock, and Brandy gets it just inside the line. Nice hit for number 11 for CSU.
The other key for this match is blocking. Northern right now needs to turn up the level in terms of blocking. Right now, the outside attackers are pretty much, putting the ball in great play with their attacking.
Tough pass saved by Metro, and a call in the net on Northern.
Yeah, net call on number 7.
That's Trisha Tuller, so it's 1-0 CSU. Tori Sumner will serve it up.
This is the good rotation now for Bakersfield. They got Felicia at the front row.
Trisha Tuller gets it, no, just outside.
Trisha took a good swing on that ball, and she needs to keep doing that. That didn't miss by much. She needs to keep that rhythm going.
Stacy will set it up again for Trisha, and she gets it with the little tap.
That's a very smart play on her behalf.
Well, if the high-octane fuel ain't working, put in the lower-price stuff and get as much as you can out of it.
That's a big part of the game, changing the speed, just like a fastball pitcher throwing the curve on a breaking ball.
Felicia Crisp with the monster kill for Bakersfield. They get it backside out. Felicia just dangerous in the middle.
Yes, Mark is doing a very good job moving her around. So basically, she's not banging straight into blockers. She's making the blockers move and see how good an athlete they are.
We'll see how Northern adjusts with Pauline Schutte. Here it goes to Andrea off the block. Streltsov over the net, and Trisha Tuller with the little tipper on the net, and the Wildcats get it back.
Trisha is, again, utilizing a high, nice smooth jump and just tap in the corner.
Stacy Metro for the Wildcats on the serve, and that one is long and out, a little too much.
That's right. Stacy's got an excellent floater, right? But on that serve, she got a little bit too much oomph in there.
So it's Brandy Babcock's turn with Bakersfield up 2-0. Jenny Long, this one will be set for Trisha Tuller coming from the outside off for Babcock.
Big play by Trisha. She needed that. That's a feel-good play. Let's carry that to the back row. She said it. Person made the kills, back serving now.
And that is Trisha Tuller from West Allis, Wisconsin. Streltsov will set it up for Weineke. Christie, Trisha with the save in the back row. Andrea bumps it up for Koenig. Heather looking for the soft spot. Couldn't quite get it. Streltsov the tip. Northern was there to recover. Here comes Jenny Long off the block. Won't hit the floor again. Felicia Crisp saved by Trisha Tuller. Jenny Long can't get it home. Another setup. This one, Weineke, and what a great point off the block of Northern Michigan, and it'll come back to Bakersfield. But Henry, great play by both sides.
Great rally. That's what is anticipated. This team needs a lot of, both sides play great defense right now, a lot of hustle, a lot of scrap. And Bakersfield is a team that love to go off these scrappy balls and just come off with outside of transition.
Dolbrinson does not get the jump serve in, and that's 4 for her, and she may be told to change that up a little.
Mark probably need to talk to her and say, hey, I like you to jump serve. I settle down a little bit right now. Right now, you need to get the serve in, make it tough standing.
Well, the Wildcats had a lot of success with the lefty freshman Liu Jun serving in the last game, and we'll see if they can duplicate. Weineke, the little tapper, nice dig by Trish.
Nice.
Here comes Jenny Long, tapper over into the net, and Bakersfield can't dig it out. It's 1-2.
Northern's playing very settled defense when she is the back. Lou is a very steady, very even keel player back there, and she gets her hands on the ball, make very good transition plays.
Sumner the push a little bit too far. Stacy will set it up for Koenig, and Heather with the blast off of Brandy Charles.
That's a feel-good play for Heather. That's the first time in this match, Dave, that Heather got isolated, and she took care of business. She's got one block on her, and she hit a hardcore score.
We're all even, 1 game each, and 2-2 here in the third. Set up for Weineke, and Christie drills it. Nice dig, but a little too much.
It's a nice play still. She was there in position. She didn't get enough time to adjust her platform, but she knows she can dig that ball. You can see it in her face. She said, I get it next time.
This time, Northern will set it up. Not Andrea, but Heather Koenig.
Northern will start going to their patented offense, meaning play sets. So far in this game, they've been going to the middle, and the blockers going with the middle. Now they start going with the play set hitter, in this case, Heather. Unfortunately, right now, she's going to the back row. There's only going to be 2 hitters in the front row now for Northern.
Nice dig. Here comes Jenny Long. Bakersfield will set it up again. Jenny, another dig, and Trisha Tuller couldn't quite get there to keep that one in play.
Again, Bakersfield made great plays on defensive end. They're just doing a super job, and their setter is doing a tremendous job in keeping the ball in play.
Stacy will set it up. Andrea tries to hammer it, got a little bit of the block. This one will come over for Charles, and Brandy finds it just outside the 3-meter line.
Right now, Northern's offside wing front row player is not retracting deep enough. A lot of close score shots being shallow, and they need to get deeper and play those balls.
And Weinecke hits the serve long, so after giving up just 1 point, Northern Michigan will get the serve back for Jenny Long. Now the Wildcats looking big across the front row. Gomans, Metro, and Tuller. And that pass over the net, and it will come to Northern Michigan.
Well, that's a back row attack by the setter. That's a back row attack. Andrea made a very smart play. And that's a good call by the referee, too. She's a back row setter. She cannot touch the ball in the front row.
So it's 3-3. Gulbranson passes it. It will be hit by Charles, and she hit the line, Judge, and that is out of bounds.
That's right. Northern needs to stay away from Gulbranson, though. She's their best passer right now. In fact, right now they have very solid pass in the back row.
4-3 Northern Michigan. They've taken the lead for the first time here in game number 3. Brandy Babcock has it blocked. 2-point lead Northern.
Great serve by Jenny Long. Brandy probably out of 3 passers, probably their weakest passer. She's also a front row hitter. By pushing her deep, she's going to have a pretty tough time to get to the net, take a good swing at the ball.
And Jenny goes right back at her.
Same play. Now they force it to the left side.
And Brandy Charles into the block of Gomans and Tuller.
That is a great feel-good block by Tuller. She is way above the net on that block. There was nothing but arms for her on that last blocking attempt.
6-3 Northern. Jenny went the other way on the serve. Gulbranson will have to hit from the back row. Stacy the setup. Boom, Gomans.
Right now, Andrea is completely outplaying Tori right now. Tori Sumner, she's trying very hard, but Andrea is getting high above her with Stacy's precise setting. She's outmatching Tori right now. Mark's going to have to figure out in blocking assignments how to stop Northern's middle attack. But that's what this balance attack is all about, Davis. Once you get it going, you're going to have 3 very efficient blockers against 3 hitters against 3 blocks. And that's going to be a very tough assignment for the blockers and tough for the back row player to see to hit.
Timeout Bakersfield. They were up 3-0. Northern Michigan has come back to take the last 7 points. Henry, this has been a match of momentum.
Absolutely, and this game right now, the 3rd game, is pretty much, for the longest time, this side-out volleyball, and right now, Northern got a string of points going, and let's see how long they can continue that. And interestingly enough, this is probably the best, Bakersfield's best passing lineup. I think Brandy's probably the weakest player they're going to keep trying to explore on her side.
Jenny Long, the deep serve to Gulbranson. The setup, the little tip for Sumner, but Heather Koenig is there, and Gomans off of Gulbranson, 8-3.
Great set and a great defensive play there, and that's what Northern needs to do. Bakersfield started getting a little shell shock now. The ball's coming hard at them high.
What Northern Michigan didn't have in game 1 was execution, but they've certainly found it here.
Nice dig back there by Jenny Long. She's providing a lot of good plays back there.
They'll set it up for Babcock. Off the block, Jenny Long keeps it alive. Stacy for Tricia Tuller. Nice little cut shot.
A little bit of off speed. Got a little bit of Phil Negro knuckleball in there. She started coming and getting a little comfortable now and started swinging a little freely, and this started working for her.
Well, Tricia wasn't having success with the hard stuff, and she's really adjusted her game well.
Got to go for that off-speed slider stuff now.
With the drop.
Great block by Northern and forced the ball to hit out. This is first time he's making a front row substitution. He's taking Brandy out, and basically, I think Jenny Long will probably going to serve to number 8 and just test her and see how ready she is.
I tell you, if the driver ain't working, you go to the 3-wood, and Tricia's done that. 10-3 Northern Michigan. Shoots the substitution, number 8 for Bakersfield. There's the hit. Wildcats will keep it in play. Liu, Stacy the set, Tricia Tuller.
Tricia is coming on, Dave. I've been on her all match. I said Tricia needs to come out. Tricia needs to come out. She's stepping up her game.
11-3 Northern Michigan. Wildcats 11 consecutive points. And Mark Rosen will turn his second and final timeout for this game.
Right now, Northern's offense is on full. All cylinders are pumping. The machine is running. The big green machine is rolling. Right now in Bakersfield, we started getting really pushed on defense. They're playing great defense, but right now, Northern's putting a lot of heat on the ball. And Bakersfield is doing the darnest to maintain their composure right now.
11-3 Northern Michigan, and they've really had a balanced attack here in this 3rd game. Gomans and Tuller have just been incredible.
Northern Michigan basically have too many guns, and right now, as you can see for Bakersfield, their best player, their big gun is on the bench. she's going to have to wait one more rotation to get in, and that's going to be a pretty critical play because Toya right now is right front. Okay, once Toya's rotated to the back row, then Felicia's to the front row. She might be able to come in and score some points and make a difference. Northern needs to score a lot of points in this rotation.
Here it comes to shoots and off the block, out of bounds, side out Bakersfield.
And this is a very, very critical side out for Bakersfield because now they got a big gun front row. She's out there waiting in the wings and hoping she come and get the last chance to bat, and she's got it.
Tanya Rush comes into the game at a service position for Bakersfield. Stacy Metro, the setup, Tricia Tuller gets it.
That's the play that Bakersfield loved, the backslide, and that's Trish's favorite play. She's finally connecting on those. And that play, when I was here at Northern, they call it Trick just because that's Trish's nickname, Trick.
Well, I tell you, in the first game, Tricia Tuller was rubbing a couple of sticks together. Here in 3, she's caught fire.
She's on fire.
Sheets goes over, and did she get it? Yes, just inside, side out, CSU.
It's very important right now, Dave, that Northern needs to stop Bakersfield's bread and butter play, which is the outside sets. They're not doing anything fancy. They just come up, take a hard swing.
Point. Tricia Tuller.
Right now, Tricia is hot, and Stacy, being a great setter, she knows what the hot hitter is. She's going to Tish until the cows come home.
Stacy Metro. Low serve. And the tip, nice play by Jennifer Streltsov for Bakersfield.
Nice play, very nice play. This is a very pivotal point, not only for the game day, but also for the match, because what's going on right now is momentum for the match. Right now, it's slowing down a little bit for Northern. They need to come on, put a little more spark on the court. They're playing a little passive right now.
And we have a player in the net.
Good call.
And it is against Bakersfield, and it will go back over to Northern. So Bakersfield unable to get anything going.
Yes, right now Northern really need to come on, provide some spark, and take this game to game 4.
The smoking hot Tricia Tuller on the serve. This one will come to Christy Weinecke, and Christy unloads, but a little long, 12-3 Cats.
Right now, these are the rotations. Bakersfield needs to score and side out because Felicia and one more rotation will go to the back row, and Bakersfield's going to be in the bind again without her in the front row position.
This set does go to Felicia Crisp, but she smacks it into the net, and the Cats have a 10-point lead.
Yes, right now, their bread and butter play is not connecting, and the setters get a little bit pressure, and this is the point. Northern's push hard.
Streltsov will set it for Christy Weinecke. She goes with the tap, but the Wildcats are there to counter. Heather Koenig, 14-3, game point.
That swing offensive work, they got too many hitters moving around, not enough blockers to contain them. That was a great set by Stacy Metro and a nice conversion by Heather Koenig.
Well, the thunder is rolling at Hedgcock. Here it comes from Weinecke, and she hits it out. Game 2 goes to the Wildcats.
Very nice comeback by Northern after getting blown out the first game. They come out and turn the heater on.
4-15, 15-5, 15-3. Wildcats up 2-1. We'll come back for game 4 right after this. You're watching Division II Volleyball Championship action on Bresnan Communications.
Casual dining at its best. It's the only place to eat. J.J. Shamrock, 113 South Front Street, downtown Marquette.
The Northern Michigan University Wildcats are 1 game away from their first ever volleyball national championship. Hi again, welcome back to Hedgcock. Dave Danis along with Henry Chin. Henry, last year the Wildcats were in this same situation and they allowed Portland State to come back. How do they keep the intensity and stay focused here?
Well, Dave, I tell you, they showed that at the end of game 3. They didn't let up, they keep pushing it, and that's very critical. I think the things I wrote down before the match is the things that in Northern's favor and their way, their factors to win. And one of that right now, if they start doing that, is running the offense more aggressively, and that's how they won game 3. Their blocking got up, that's very critical, and now the home crowd's getting in. This is everything working in favor of Northern Michigan right now.
They lost the first 4-15, but have come back 15-5 and 15-3. The Bakersfield serve. Gomans will come back and slam it home. Service NMU.
Very good, calm defense by Northern Michigan. Nice dig, nice coverage ball back there by Jenny Long. Very nice series of play there by the Northern Michigan back row players.
Henry, I sense right now with Northern Michigan, not excited, not hyper, very methodical, very mechanical coming out at that point.
And you know, that's Jim Morris. He always preached for that. A very machine-like, business-like approach to the game.
And all business, Andrea, but just a little bit long, so Bakersfield will get the first point.
Well, the first fight, the first couple of minutes going to be very critical right now. Bakersfield is fighting and scratching for their life right now. The game is on the line, national championship, and they're going to have to play very hard right now, and they are.
And Tricia Tula with the little cut had to be dug out by Streltsov, and the Wildcats get the side out.
Very interesting strategy. Mark is staying with Tori Tomler in the front row right now, and I was a little surprised he didn't have Felicia start in the front row to get some quick momentum going on their side.
Andrea Goman serves it for the Wildcats, played out the back row by Weineke. The set comes to Brandy Charles, hits it long, 1-1.
Northern Michigan has started really influence Bakersfield's hitters with their block. You notice a lot of balls been hitting out and hitting wide. That's a sign of good blocking.
Gomans gets it just over the net.
That ball barely got through to the tape.
2-1, Northern Michigan. This crowd is now really becoming a factor for the Wildcats.
I think Northern just needed to go and make exciting plays.
Tori Sumner, the tip, shooting blocked that. Cats got it back. Nice dig by Gomans.
Play by Andrea.
Heather Koenig hits it, kept alive by Gulbranson. That might have gone long. Brandy Charles with the little tap into the net.
See, Northern on that play, Tricia come off the net real hard, getting the 10-foot line, and she started playing those cross-court angles. That's what Northern's front row diggers have to do when they're on the offside.
Gomans will serve it up again. Gulbranson couldn't get the pass. Nice little dig by Weineke. Wildcats come back with it. They'll set it up for Sumner. Stacy Metro got called for the lift.
Yeah, that's another real scrappy play there by Bakersfield to keep the ball in play. You're gonna have to beat them very hard. They're not gonna go away easily. Nice pass there by Heather.
And Pauline Schutte with the slam.
Great pass by Heather Koenig, showing her senior experience. Stacy with an excellent set to Pauline. Pauline is having a super match so far.
Stacy Metro serve played by Babcock, and Brandy still having trouble on the pass. They've gone at her all night.
Stacy has got that serve going. She's got a very tough floater going deep, very hard to control. Just early in the match, she was serving those out. She's right now getting a nice, easy approach to the serve, and she's going to send it deep again.
Babcock will come out of the game. Cara Sheets will come in for Bakersfield. Stacy Metro goes center on the serve. Little tap by Sumner, and Andrea couldn't get there. And there's something Bakersfield found that worked in the first game.
Yes, that play right there was a very good tip. It was way in front of Stacy and a little too wide to Andrea's right. And that's a well-placed tip.
We'll check that. Heather Koenig over there, but the serve into the net, and you just can't have that.
This is going to be a very interesting series right now. Felicia's in the front row. This is Bakersfield's stronger offensive rotations, and Northern Michigan needs to contain her. And
they go to Sheets, blocked by Pauline, side out.
Bakersfield also is exposing a passer out there, and that's Tori, and she's right now is sliding off, not passing the ball, but she's in the back row. Northern's probably going to take advantage of that as soon as the ball is in play.
This one comes again to Sheets.
Nice stick by Andrea, nice set by Stacy.
And Koenig gets the touch.
That is a tremendous dig by Andrea, and Stacy using her athletic ability to make that look very easy to an easy transition attack.
6-1 Northern Michigan, and Henry at this point, the Wildcats smell blood.
They smell blood, they got to go for, and this is what they talk about all year since last year's national championship. And this is something that I'm sure all the players, despite that first game, have come out really strong to make a drive.
Okay, Henry, we'll give you a break for a bit, and Kathy Nelson, the head coach from Portland State, will join us. Kathy, first of all, congratulations on your victory in the consolation game, but what can you say about this one that's going on?
I'll tell you what, this is a match of totally dominate your opponents or be dominated. It's been hasn't been close on any of the games, but I think the Northern Michigan fans here are pretty darn excited about what's happening.
Well, I tell you, how often do you see something like this for Division II volleyball? We got a full house.
This is really impressive, and I think the city of Marquette and Northern Michigan University is really to be commended, because this is a great crowd, and they love their team.
Kathy, let's get your slant on this game. In the first game, Bakersfield came out like a house of fire and won it big. Northern wasn't executing very well, but they've really come back.
They really have. I think they came out with some jitters in the first game is what it looked like to me. They made a lot of errors, and they just really weren't on their game, and Bakersfield really was, but they turned it around game 2 and haven't looked back since.
Now, your team, Portland State, was the winner last year over Northern Michigan. You weren't there yet. You were still at Oregon State?
University of Oregon.
University
that was close,
of Oregon. Got the right state anyway, but your players know what it's like to go through this. They were down 2-1 to Northern Michigan last year. So what kind of advice would they or you have for Bakersfield?
Well, I think they really have to be patient, and they can't get too frantic and not want all the points to come in one clump. It's just, that's not the way it works in volleyball. Got to be patient, got to wait and wait and wait, and just hope that your break comes sooner than later.
All right, Kathy, thank you very much. Congratulations on your win again today. It's been a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
All righty. Thanks a lot, Kathy Nelson, head coach of the Portland State Vikings. Henry Chin rejoins me. Henry, 6-3 Northern Michigan. Bakersfield may have something going.
Yes, Bakersfield come out really executing, and they relax more. And right now, they just score 4 straight points since they took on the serving rotation right here.
Well, like Kathy just said, you got to be patient and wait for your break and make the most of it. And right now, that's what the Vikings are doing.
Yes, absolutely. And right now, Northern's still up by 2. They just need to settle down a little bit. And they probably think Bakersfield just going to come out and throw their hands up, but they're not going to do that.
Well, there's Pauline Schutte with the kill. And I tell you, Henry, if you're looking for an underdog player to come up and have a big match for Northern Michigan, Pauline Schutte is the player that's doing that.
You know, a lot of people talk about how the 4 seniors going to graduate Northern, and you know, things can be different. But I tell you what, Northern's got some good young players right now in the program. We're talking about a very strong program for the years to come.
Side out goes back over to Bakersfield. They trail it 4-6. Down 2-1, and that serve goes just a little long, and Bakersfield's had that problem.
They're trying to go to Trish's side and overdo it, and right now that's what they're trying, maybe a little too hard, try to win the game on their own. They need to execute better teamwork and just let everything else flow.
Struts off the setup, and Christy Weinecke with the smoker gets it for Bakersfield. They get the ball back at 4-6. We'll see if Erica Goldbranson can get this one in. She's had some trouble, and she goes away from the jump serve.
She's standing up, and she's making very effective serves right now. That is a great effort by Bakersfield, and the ball didn't bounce the right way, but that's great defense. You know, number 7 came up, and she still hustled for the ball. Unfortunately, the ball bounced the opposite way.
Jenny Long will serve it for Northern Michigan. They have a 2-point lead. Jenny's serve will go deep left. Goldbranson the pass, the setup for Tori Sumner. Nice dig by Liu.
Liu is being just awesome in her play, and she is, you know, misconnect on that hit, but she made a very good defensive dig to keep the ball in play.
So we've had a few straight side outs. Streltsov will serve it a little bit short. Stacy the set, the tip, Trisha Tuller.
Trisha is definitely settling down, and when she doesn't have all the shots in the world, she goes with the best. And she started doing the off-speed, changed her tempo a little bit, and she set it off with her thundering spikes when she does get a good shot at them.
Wildcats have had some success with Andrea Gomans back on the service line. See what they can do here. Stacy Metro, the set attack, and it's successful.
Stacy leads the country in hitting, well, very high up in the country, and hitting percentages. That's the reason why. She's tall, and she's got very good vision when she's up there.
Gomans again sends it deep and just a little bit long.
That's okay. Andrea knows that too. She said, I got to take a little off. She knows it.
But again, an aggressive play by the Wildcats, and that is what has done them well.
Absolutely. Jenny Long has been passing real well right now.
Ooh, and Stacy's pass just a little over the head of Emily Carrick.
I don't think she probably heard Emily on the call, and she was expecting Emily going out on the tempo 2 set, but Emily went tight on tempo 1.
This one will come to Trisha Tuller, and Trish got under it just a little bit, and it's now 7-6.
Trish was a little late coming off on her passing, and she was not comfortable. She was kind of like twisting and turning in the air, trying to make the adjustment.
Stacy, the set. Emily gets the kill.
That's the play. Northern have to live dangerously by going with quick attacks. They can play safe. They got to keep going with the quick, and they got to go with the play set. And right now with Heather in the front row, they got to go to her on the play set attacks to keep her going. A nice stick by Stacy there.
Strutzoff will set it up for Sheets, and Stacy's right there to take the attempted tap. Trisha Tuller into the block, digs it out. Heather Koenig will bump it up for Andrea, and Andrea cranks it off the hands of Sumner. Bakersfield goes to Charles, and Brandy goes to the tip, and that's what Bakersfield has done well.
That is a great, great effort on Bakersfield's side. They never say quit. And right now, they got Felicia Crisp coming the front row, and this is a big momentum course row right now. We're gonna find out which side wants it more.
Tanya Rush serve will come to Jenny Long, and Tuller just comes around the outside and smacks it home.
Trisha had a little bit of timing problem with that back set, and she's on, and when she's on, there's nothing gonna stop her.
7-6, Northern Michigan's lead. Tuller served. The setup by Streltsov to Sheets. Dug out by Stacy Metro, but not enough. Side out CSU.
That's a very nice swing by the outside hitter. And Stacy was there, but just could not get the board up.
Brandy Charles will serve it up. Brandy, number 7, the Bakersfield hometowner. Stacy Metro back set. Heather Koenig blasts it. And Bakersfield can't get to it. Good effort by Weineke, but the side out goes to Northern.
Well, Dave, that's a play that doesn't matter what team you're cheering for, you gotta love that. Players goes into the bench, goes into the bleacher, and just slams their body down if there's anything that's gonna fire up her team.
Well, Liu Jun has become the crowd favorite here for Northern Michigan as she goes back on the service line.
I tell you what, Dave, when she's in the game, the rotations are scoring a lot of points.
Felicia Charles has it blocked by Gomez.
That's a nice play. Andrea did the right thing, and Felicia took a swing and just bounced out.
So it'll be Kara Sheets back to serve for Cal State-Bakersfield, 5'8" junior. Another one. Good hometown recruiting by Mark Rosen. The setup, Metro to Gomez off of Crisp, and Charles can't get there. Side out Northern.
You know, you got to give a lot of credit to both of these coaches. You know, they're recruiting very well for the athletes they can work with, and Mark's done extremely well getting the local girls from Bakersfield, and they're doing a super job.
Speaking of super jobs, Heather Koenig on the serve goes to the line and gets it.
She's got that very effective serve right now, and Heather is somebody I'm really impressed with. She came into Northern Michigan as a sophomore and has done great things for this program.
Christy Weineke hits it wide, 9-6 Cats. They're 6 points away from their first national title.
Right now, Northern Michigan's got a huge block on the right side with Andrea, a 6'3", and Stacy Metro, a 6'1". They're going to have to go to the backside to attack that, back row attack. Nice dig there by the freshman.
They go to Jenny Long, and Jenny with the point, 10-6.
This is a very good rotation for Northern because Stacy's got a lot of room. She is front row. She can attack the ball. She's very animated right now. Jennifer Long is probably one of the best swing hitter in terms of her discipline, and she's really confusing the hitter with that last attack.
Mark Rosen calls a timeout, and I tell you, Stacy Metro, if you're talking about an artist, she's painting a beautiful picture here the last couple of nights.
I tell you what, Dave, and you got to give her just a lot of points for her courageousness, because that first game, the whole team were just not up, and it's up to the setter who started running an aggressive game, and she started that. And she kept, if there's anything in game 1, she kept the quick hitters, the middle hitters involved, and that was a constant bring in the game 2, and the outside hitters got their stuff going in game 2, and that was how Northern went 2 and 3. So you got to give her a lot of credit for make sure that the hitters are on and they keep getting better. And so far, every hitter's been getting better as the match is going.
Well, Bakersfield has their backs against the wall, down 2-1 and 10-6 here in the third. Henry, what can Mark Rosen get going here?
Mark Rosen probably tell him, settle down, pass the ball, set the ball to Felicia.
And there they do. Nice call, Henry.
Wow. Mark is a great coach. I mean, he's... But unfortunately for him, again, as we said at the beginning of the match, Northern's got way too many options. Now Felicia's in the back row, and they're going to play that catch-up game again, because right now Northern is looking at Felicia standing by the bench.
Stacy Metro will set it for Andrea. Nice block by Tori Sumner. The Cat fans don't like it, but that was perfectly legal.
That's a very nice play by both sides, actually. The refs, as I said, both are doing a very nice job. I think both coaches are learning. They're very loose in the way they call the game, which is probably the way to go in a championship match. You let them play.
Well, the block doesn't count as a hit either.
That's
for
right.
your 1 for an individual or 4 for a team. Metro bumps it up. Jenny Long off the block. Liu. Stacy Metro. Andrea with the right-hander. Stretzoff will set it for Christy Weineke, and she fires it long.
Not very nice play. On that last play, though, however, you know, we got called a little bit shallow with Tricia playing middle back, and that's one of the things the coaches always pull their hair out. The middle back player is too shallow in the court. They need to play deeper.
And there is Tricia Tuller, 11-7, Northern Michigan.
Tell you what, Dave, right now the athletic ability of Northern Michigan players are start taking over. You look across the net, there's 3 6-footers staying in front of you. That's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure.
The set for Tori Sumner, and Tori's tap hits tape, and it's 12-7.
That is a forced error because there was 3 blockers up on her, and she had one choice, tip the ball, and she didn't get her hands high enough. You know, I start feeling up the floor is shaking a little bit right now. This play's going to go just erupt.
Here comes Weineke, the block. Sumner bumps it up, and there's Tori. Tricia Tuller couldn't get it to save it.
Great play by Andrea, and Leo is doing she's a very quick player. I'm watching her. She's a very smooth back row player. Great reaction, very quick with her hands.
Bakersfield gets the side out, down by 5. It's 7-12. Jennifer Streltzoff will serve it for CSU. Very crucial possession for the Roadrunners.
Absolutely, that was a beautiful serve. Oh, nice save by Northern.
Nice for the Wildcats. The setup to Weineke, drills it down in the corner.
Now Northern got a little bit lackadaisical there, and we went out and didn't front the hitter enough, and she's got a little bit of opening, and she went right through it.
Service error for Streltzoff. Wildcats get it back with a 4-point lead. And it will be Andrea Gomans back on the service line.
This is where they have to smell the blood. They're at the 1-yard line with the championship.
The wound is open. The Cats going for the kill.
This is going to be a play they have to convert. This should be an easy attempt.
Shooty misfires 4 hits.
Well, they play with a lot of aggressiveness for the quick, and Stacy went for the ball. And Pauline just a little bit off in her timing.
Christy Weineke serves it up. Stacy will set it up for Shooty. Nice dig
play by Heather.
Charles will give it over to Sheets, and she has it blocked by Stacy Metro.
Stacy got so high on that, I think her shoulder was above the net. She was ready for that shot.
Stacy, the 6'1" senior from Lakewood, California, back on the service line. 2-time Division II Player of the Year.
This is it. They got to run something very aggressive with it.
And they go to Tuller. Tricia taps it. And Bakersfield goes with the set attack back over. Here it comes. Tuller again with the spin shot, and that one goes off the hands of Weineke. Sheets will have to toss it over. Stacy sets it up again. This one for Heather Koenig, and it finds floor. No, nice dig, Goldbrinson, and Shooty gets the block on Sumner.
Well, Dave, right now Bakersfield got himself in a pickle because right now Northern Michigan knows they have one attacker. Right now their setter's front row, and the only option is hide outside. Northern knows that. They try to go to the backside.
Bakersfield will get the side out, but that just may be delaying the inevitable.
Well, Felicia Crisp back in the front row, and this is going to be a big test for her, and she's very capable, and to see how she connects on the first attempt.
Bakersfield trails 8-13. Heather Koenig pops it over the net. They'll try and set it up, not for Felicia, but for Sheets. Nice dig, Jenny Long, and that one will go back out of bounds.
Right now, the right side blockers for Northern needs to do a tremendous job because Pauling is commit blocking on Felicia, so that leaves the outside hitter pretty much isolated with one block up.
Service ace for Tanya Rush. Bakersfield cuts the Wildcat lead to 3, and Jim Moore calls timeout.
They probably need this one. They seem like they would pump so high, they a little bit running out of gas. It's good for a pit stop right now.
A jam-packed house at the C.B. Hedgcock Fieldhouse on the campus of Northern Michigan University. It was 4-15 in favor of Bakersfield in the first game, 15-5 and 15-3 Northern Michigan in games 2 and 3, and they lead it 13-10 here in game number 4. Dave Danis along with Henry Chin for Bresnan Communications. And I tell you, Henry, you couldn't find a more exciting event for the city of Marquette. They've come out and supported it, and right now the Wildcats trying to just settle down and put it away.
That's right. Northern needs to just come out and just execute, and Jim probably telling them very businesslike. We're going to pass, we're going to set, we're going to attack. And that's what they need to do right now to side out.
Coach Moore trying to put the oil back in the Wildcat machine. Rush will serve it. Dug out by Goman. Stacy gets it over to Heather Koenig. Drills
nice
it.
Dig.
Saved by Weineke.
Nice dig.
Set up for Brandy Sheets. Blocked by
nice
Schutte.
Coverage on them.
Weineke again. Sheets has it blocked. Pauline Schutte. And the Wildcats have it side out with 2 points to go for the title.
Bakersfield is playing some incredible gutsy defense. And they're out there flying around with the game point on the line. They still are going after everything.
This set for Felicia Crisp, dug out by Metro, or Tuller rather. Stacy going for the kill. Heather Koenig, nice save, but will it get over the net? Felicia Crisp doesn't. Here comes Heather Koenig, blasts it off the hands of Streltsov, and Bakersfield won't get there. We are at match point, 14-10, Northern Michigan University.
Dave, great volleyball, great hustle on both sides, great pursuit, going after the ball, and this is just wonderful. The crowd going, you couldn't ask for better volleyball than this.
Tricia Tuller will serve it up at game point. Brandy Babcock will check back in for the Roadrunners of Bakersfield. She's had some problems passing, but she's an effective hitter from the outside.
Tricia's got a very aggressive serve. I think she should take down the new player coming in, and she is. She puts out the errant pass, and this is it for Northern. They should run something very aggressive.
Stacy Metro, Schutte had it blocked. Pauline ups it. Heather Koenig and Northern Michigan is the national champion of Division II volleyball with a 4-15, 15-5, 15-3, 15-10 victory over Bakersfield.
Well, I don't know how I can stay so calm because this is an emotional moment for Northern, and they really come back out after that strong adversity from the first game. Did a wonderful job. I think Mark did a superb job. He looked at the players crossing the car right now. Northern just about a head and shoulder taller than they are.
So and there you see the Wildcat coach, Jim Moore. We don't know if they've got champagne or Gatorade in the locker room.
I think that Gatorade.
But you can bet he's going to get doused as Northern Michigan, the team embracing on the court. Kevin Hitt and Jim Moore. There you see Heather Koenig. And what can you say about a player like Pauline Schutte? You think Northern, you think the seniors, Metro, Tuller, Koenig, Andrea Gomez, but Pauline Schutte was a player who came up big in this match.
Dave, this was just great team effort.
I tell you, listen to the crowd. A 38-1 season for Northern Michigan, and take nothing away from Bakersfield. Being number 2 isn't that bad, although I know it feels like it right now.
Northern was responded very well after the near knockout punch in the first game. And they really came out strong. And as I said, everybody contributed. The reserves coming in actually settled down the starters. I really feel that the key plays were a lot made by the reserve number 6. She was very impressive with her serving, with her very timely play in the crucial points.
Well, Henry, the Wildcats were staggered in round 1. They got it together between and just executed the heck out of it in 2, 3, and 4.
This, as I said earlier, this reminds me of the Northern Michigan Wildcat hockey victory. They get blown out by BU in the first game, came back and through adversity and winning the national championship. This has just been incredible, Dave. This is a program that 5 years ago when I came here, you know, we really were just struggling, and Jim, for the first moment I talked to him, he said, we're going to win a national championship. And here he is.
And Jim applauding the start. Henry, let me tell you, I was at the St. Paul Civic Center sitting up in the press box that night that Northern won that thrilling triple overtime victory over Boston. But let me tell you, this here tonight has been every bit as exciting, and that's to take nothing away from that incredible hockey game.
but the excitement here for this championship game has just been something.
This is, and not only they're winners tonight as national champions. It's a wonderful group of girls. They're really mature and they're all real nice young ladies, and Northern should be very proud of them, very proud.
Well, I tell you, Henry, Northern Michigan lost just one senior off of last year's team.
That's Dawn Donaldson.
And then looking at Bakersfield's roster, they have just one senior, and she is not the #1 player. She's not one of their top 6, so Bakersfield is a team that can come back very strong next year.
Bakersfield's definitely a program that's going to be very strong the next few years with great coaching and Mark Rosen and a wonderful staff. They're going to be a one that Northern's going to look at. Of course, the net counts to November and December. This not counting out Northern Michigan, no means they are going to be very strong. They got a lot of talented young players, and they got a lot of size behind them. Jennifer Long is being a glue for this team, and they got some nice, promising players from Pauline, Emily, and a lot of reserves that I know during the regular season had a lot of playing time.
Well, I tell you, they were partying in Madison, Wisconsin Saturday night when the Badgers got to the Rose Bowl, and I think the city of Marquette, at least Hedgcock Fieldhouse, is about to erupt in similar fashion for their champs.
Well, I rode in last night at 4 in the morning, and I was already see signs in store windows, and this is Marquette is going to be now a volleyball town on the map.
I tell you, it's going to be something having to come down off of this. I got to go back to hockey on Friday night.
Oh, no, you won't miss the beat. Rick has always got exciting teams out there. Very exciting team.
4-15, 15-5, 15-3, 15-10. The Northern Michigan University Wildcats win their first ever championship in Division II volleyball, erasing the bad taste left in their mouth last year at Portland, and nothing could be sweeter than coming back from that.
Tremendous determination and the amount of work the coaching staff and the girls on the team have put in. This is what it's all about in sports. You make commitment, you make sacrifices, and they got it.
I tell you, Kathy Nelson from Portland State said, you know, she told her team in that last game against Northern Colorado to stay focused, and that is what the Northern Michigan Wildcats did when they got into Game 2 here tonight.
I tell you what, that Game 1 almost turns out to be a good thing for them because that was the wake-up call, and after that, they took care of business, and they really went out and played like machines.
Let's go down to courtside for the award presentations. of 1991, Coach Rick Conley's Northern Michigan Hockey Wildcats won their 38th game of the season and a national championship with a triple overtime thriller over Boston U. Tonight, the Northern Michigan women's volleyball squad has won their 38th game of the season and a national championship for the Wildcats here at the CB Hedgcock Fieldhouse. 38, the lucky number for the Wildcats in Henry. Northern Michigan, just a great effort here in this tournament.
It's a great effort, you know, and at this time, I think the person that really have a lot to do with this is Rick Conley, the athletic director. I come back to Marquette this year. I see some great improvements here in Northern. Got a brand new gym floor. And next year, the volleyball team is going to their brand new own arena. There's just a lot of wonderful things that's happening. Jim will always speak very highly of Rick because he really was the person that was behind the program and supported 100%. And also Barb Patrick, who's not here tonight, was the women's athletic director that was always very instrumental in the beginning years of this program.
Northern Colorado finishes fourth. Finishing third, the Vikings of Portland State, the defending national champion, and that set up the final climax game between the Wildcats of Northern Michigan and the number 2 Roadrunners of Cal State-Bakersfield. Just, you can't take anything away from any of these other teams that were here. They were just simply put out by a fabulous volleyball squad.
Dave, this is very impressive volleyball, and I watched both the third place and obviously this match. There's some great things that for volleyball in this whole country. Division II volleyball have gone a long way. We got players in Division II that's on a national team. I think Stacy Metro, somebody who very deserving, so should get a chance to try out for the national program. You got a lot of great coaches in this level. Kathy Nelson was assistant at Oregon, and she's going to bring a lot of good recruits to that program. And this is a tremendous tournament for me to see. I've been watching Division I, coaching against Division I teams, and a lot of these teams here will beat a lot of Division I teams. That's how good they are.
The all-tournament teams being announced: Dana Cash of Northern Colorado, Jennifer Streltzoff of Bakersfield, Erica Boggio and Joy Russell of Portland State. Tricia Tuller, the first of the Wildcats to be introduced on that all-tournament team. And who's going to be next? Heather Koenig.
And this is a tremendous victory for Tricia personally. She didn't get on the All-American team because the rules this year can only limit to 3 players per school. But Tricia, I was very, very hard on her during this whole match because I know she can be a lot better than what she put in. And her spark really took this team to a new level.
Leanne Peters, the 4-time All-American from Portland State, and Felicia Crisp also make the team. Debbie Ponis from Northern Colorado, who was just an exceptionally consistent player throughout the match, an excellent hitter. From Bakersfield, Christy Weinecke, also I mean, you can say fabulous 900 times. This is as good a volleyball player as you're going to find anywhere. Check out Stacy Metro. She also makes the team from Northern Michigan.
Yeah, those players standing out there are outstanding volleyball players, and they should be very proud of standing out there.
Andrea Gomez. And I tell you, Henry, if you take this all-tournament team, put them together and see what you could do against some of the top 10 from Division I against the team.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, just from what I heard in terms of spring tournaments, last year I know Northern had a, very successful spring against teams from Big Ten and the MAC conference. I think Division II are basically for kids that, may not have as much established, and they will flourish. We have some great coaching going on in this division. Pauline, for example, I think a couple of years ago, she was very, very green. She came in and she just flourished. And same goes for Andrea. She was a very physical player, but needed a lot of training. Look at Bakersfield's side. A lot of their players would pretty much, left, unnoticed, and Mark did a super job, getting them to the level that they're playing right now.
Stacy Metro, Rachel Dyrick, Jenny Long, Liu Jun, Tricia Tuller, Becky Smith, Emily Carrick, Kelly Brown, Andrea Gomez, Pauline Schutte, Heather Koenig, and Chris Backstrom. Those names will go down in athletic history here at Northern Michigan University with the first ever Division II Women's Volleyball Championship with a win 3-1 over the Roadrunners of Cal State-Bakersfield. Henry, I'd like to thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you here for this final match.
Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure for me to come here, to see all these enthusiasm here, and it's been a pleasure to see these seniors. When I was here, they were all freshmen. I remember the first year we were like 13 and 18. I think nobody in that team really thought that they can win a national championship, and here they did it. Dreams do come true. Dreams do come true here, Dave.
And they've come true tonight here at the CB Hedgcock Fieldhouse. For our producer, Gavin LeMade, for Kevin Hitt and Lisa Rosen, our color analyst for the weekend, along with Henry Chen, I'm Dave Dennis. Let's let the victory lap take you home. The Wildcats are the national champs of Division II volleyball. 4-15, 15-5, 15-3, and 15-10 over Cal State-Bakersfield. The Cats are #1. Good night, everybody.